There are some moments in the world of celebrity livestreams that seem completely ordinary when they happen, yet somehow become unforgettable once viewers begin looking back at them. A glance that lasts a little longer than expected, a sudden smile, an unexpected reaction, or even a small gesture that might have meant nothing at all can become the center of an enormous wave of discussion. And that is exactly why this particular livestream moment involving Zhang Ling and Tian Xiwei has captured so much attention. The question spreading among fans is simple, but the emotions surrounding it are anything but simple. Did Zhang Ling really receive a special gift from Tian Xiwei during the livestream? There is no need to rush toward an answer, because the mystery itself is what makes the moment so fascinating. What viewers noticed was not necessarily some dramatic announcement or unmistakable confession, but the possibility of something much quieter, something personal enough to make people pause the video, replay the scene, examine every expression, and wonder whether there was a story happening just outside the frame. Live streams have a unique atmosphere because they rarely feel as perfectly controlled as a formal interview or carefully choreographed stage appearance. Cameras are already rolling, viewers are watching in real time, conversations can change direction unexpectedly, and tiny interactions can escape the polished boundaries of celebrity appearances. That unpredictability is what makes a seemingly simple gesture feel so significant. When Zhang Ling appeared during the livestream, fans were already paying close attention to his expressions and reactions, but the possibility of a gift connected to Tian Xiwei added an entirely different layer of curiosity. Suddenly, something that might have looked like an ordinary object became a potential symbol. Was it simply a thoughtful present between colleagues? Was it connected to a shared memory? Was it something chosen specifically because Tian Xiwei knew Zhang Ling would appreciate it? Or did fans simply connect a few ambiguous details and create a larger story around them? Those questions are impossible to answer without direct confirmation, but that uncertainty is precisely what has kept the conversation alive. What makes the speculation particularly emotional is the history of public attention surrounding Zhang Ling and Tian Xiwei. Whenever the two are seen in the same professional environment, viewers tend to notice the smallest details. Their expressions, their timing, the way they respond when the other person is mentioned, and even moments when they appear to become unexpectedly shy can generate enormous discussion online. Some fans interpret these details as evidence of a particularly comfortable friendship, while others see a deeper emotional connection. But there is an important distinction between what viewers observe and what they believe those observations mean. A smile is a smile. A gift is a gift. A glance is a glance. The meaning behind those things belongs to the people involved, and unless they choose to explain it themselves, viewers can only speculate. Yet that does not make the moment uninteresting. In fact, sometimes the absence of a clear explanation is exactly what makes fans pay even closer attention. Imagine the atmosphere of the livestream as the conversation continues, the camera focused on Zhang Ling while comments move rapidly across the screen. Viewers are watching his reactions, perhaps expecting nothing more than another entertaining celebrity appearance. Then comes the detail that changes the mood. Something connected to Tian Xiwei is noticed, and suddenly the energy shifts. Maybe it is the way Zhang Ling looks at the object. Maybe it is a brief smile that appears before he moves on. Maybe someone mentions the gift and his expression changes for just a moment. None of these details alone can prove a hidden meaning, but together they create the kind of tiny mystery that the internet is almost designed to amplify. A few seconds can become hundreds of theories. A small gesture can become a discussion lasting for days. And a simple present can suddenly feel like the most important object in the entire livestream. There is also something deeply human about giving a gift. A present does not necessarily have to be expensive or extravagant to carry emotional value. Sometimes the smallest objects become meaningful because of who gave them, when they were given, or why they were chosen. A gift can represent appreciation, friendship, congratulations, encouragement, or simply the thought of someone remembering another person. That is why the possibility of Tian Xiwei giving something special to Zhang Ling immediately attracted attention. Fans were not only asking what the object might have been, they were asking what it could represent. If the gift really came from her, was it connected to something they had experienced together? Did she choose it personally? Did Zhang Ling already know about it? Was his reaction simply polite surprise, or was there a more personal emotion behind it? The most fascinating part is that livestream moments often happen too quickly for anyone to fully understand them in real time. A viewer may notice something but not immediately recognize its importance. Then someone uploads a clip. Another fan slows it down. Someone else points out an expression that had gone unnoticed. Suddenly thousands of people are looking at the same few seconds from completely different perspectives. One person sees a warm friendship. Another sees professional courtesy. Another believes there is something more meaningful happening beneath the surface. And before long, the original moment has become surrounded by an entire universe of interpretations. That is how celebrity fandom works at its most intense, not necessarily because everyone agrees, but because everyone is curious. For Zhang Ling, moments like these can be especially interesting because his public image often combines composure with subtle emotional reactions. Viewers frequently pay attention to small changes in his expression rather than expecting dramatic displays. That means a slight smile, a moment of hesitation, or an unexpectedly gentle reaction can become much more noticeable than a large theatrical gesture. If he received something associated with Tian Xiwei and appeared genuinely touched or surprised, it is understandable why fans would remember the scene. But it is equally important not to transform an ambiguous moment into a confirmed personal story. Celebrity interactions exist within a professional world, and kindness between co-stars or friends does not automatically indicate romance or a secret relationship. The same applies to Tian Xiwei. A thoughtful gesture from her would not necessarily need a dramatic explanation. She could have chosen something simply because she knew Zhang Ling would like it. She could have been expressing friendship or appreciation. She could have been participating in a lighthearted exchange connected to their professional relationship. Or perhaps the entire story has been exaggerated through fan discussion, with separate details becoming connected in ways that were never intended. Until the people involved clarify what happened, all of these possibilities remain open. And that uncertainty should be treated as part of the story rather than something that needs to be filled with invented facts. Still, there is a reason the idea feels so emotionally powerful to fans. People are naturally drawn to moments that appear unscripted. In an entertainment industry filled with premieres, brand events, photo calls, interviews, rehearsed appearances, and carefully planned publicity, an unexpected gesture can feel refreshingly genuine. Viewers want to believe that behind the polished images are real people capable of surprising one another, supporting one another, and sharing moments that are not designed entirely for the camera. That is why even a simple gift can carry such emotional weight. The object itself may be ordinary, but the thought behind it could be extraordinary. And then there is the question of Zhang Linghe's reaction. This may be the detail fans find hardest to ignore. When someone receives something meaningful, the reaction can sometimes reveal more than words. A sudden smile, a softer expression, a moment of looking down, or an attempt to hide surprise can all make viewers wonder what is happening internally. Yet expressions can also be misunderstood. Someone might smile because they are embarrassed, because they are amused, because they are being polite, or simply because the situation is unexpected. Reading emotions from a few seconds of footage is never an exact science. That is why the most responsible way to view such a moment is to appreciate what can actually be seen while leaving room for possibilities that cannot be proven. What cannot be denied, however, is the enormous curiosity surrounding Zhang Ling and Tian Xiwei whenever their paths cross. Their shared history and public appearances have created an audience that watches their interactions with extraordinary attention. Every new appearance becomes another opportunity for fans to notice something they may have missed before. And this particular livestream adds another intriguing question to that growing collection of moments. If the gift was genuinely from Tian Xiwei, perhaps the most meaningful part was not the object itself but the simple act of remembering someone. If it was not, then the story still demonstrates just how closely fans follow their favorite stars and how quickly a small misunderstanding can become a major online conversation. There is something almost cinematic about the idea of a small object sitting quietly in the middle of a livestream while thousands of people try to understand its significance. The camera sees it. Zhang Ling sees it. Viewers see his reaction. Somewhere beyond the livestream, Tian Xiwei may know exactly why it was there. And everyone watching is left with only fragments. That gap between what the public sees and what the people involved actually know is where speculation grows. It creates a feeling that there might be another chapter hidden just beyond the frame, something viewers cannot access unless one of the people at the center of the story decides to explain it. Perhaps that is why this moment has resonated so strongly. It is not necessarily about proving a romance, uncovering a secret, or turning an innocent gesture into something bigger than it was. It is about the emotional power of a small unanswered question. Did Tian Xiwei really prepare something special for Zhang? If she did, what made her choose it? How did he react when he realized where it came from? Was it a private joke between friends, a meaningful memory, a simple expression of support, or merely a thoughtful gesture between two people who have worked closely together? Each possibility creates a different story, and yet none can be confirmed simply by watching a few seconds of footage. What makes the moment memorable is therefore not certainty, but possibility. Fans can replay the live stream, discuss what they noticed, compare interpretations, and enjoy the warmth of the interaction without turning speculation into fact. Sometimes the most beautiful celebrity moments are the ones that remain slightly mysterious. They give viewers something to wonder about without requiring an answer. They remind us that public figures can still have personal memories, friendships, private jokes, and meaningful gestures that do not need to be fully explained to the world. And perhaps somewhere within that livestream was the real significance of the moment. Not a grand declaration, not a dramatic reveal, but a small gesture that made people stop and pay attention. Whether the gift truly came from Tian Xiwei or whether fans connected the clues too quickly, the reaction itself tells a powerful story about how closely people follow these two performers. Their smallest interactions can create an atmosphere of anticipation because viewers are always wondering what might happen next. A glance can become a memory. A smile can become a conversation. And a simple gift can become a mystery that refuses to disappear. So the question remains suspended in the air, exactly where the most intriguing celebrity stories often remain. Did Zhang receive a special gift from Tian Xiwei during that livestream? The evidence may be open to interpretation, and without a direct confirmation, no one outside the people involved can know the complete truth. But perhaps that is what makes the moment so captivating. It leaves just enough unanswered to make viewers look again, listen more carefully, and wonder about the meaning behind a gesture that may have been incredibly simple or unexpectedly personal. And as fans continue discussing that unforgettable possibility, one thing is certain. Sometimes the smallest moments create the biggest curiosity, because when the camera captures something that feels genuine, even for only a few seconds, people cannot help but wonder what happened just before the camera turned on, what happened after it turned away, and what that tiny moment might have meant to the two people who were actually there.